Hi everyone, this is Norma Ochoa. I am the founder of DevOpsToday.net, and today we're going to talk about installing Jenkins in Java 11 in an AWS EC2 instance. So if you just log into your AWS Management Console, this is the first display you're going to see. Click on EC2. We're going to go under Instances. We're going to click on Launch Instances. And we want to select the Amazon Linux 2 AMI. Notice that there's another one. This is Amazon Linux AMI, but it doesn't have a 2. We want to select the one that has the number 2. Select. And right now we can just use the general purpose, the T2 micro. That should be fine. Configure instance details. Nothing to change here. Click on Add Storage. We're not going to be adding tags. The next thing we're going to do is configure the security group, and here we're going to be creating a new security group. We want that checked, and the name of the security group we're going to be using is going to be security group Jenkins 8080, and I think I already have one, so I'm going to just make it number 2 because it won't let me do a security group with the same name. And then we want 2 protocols. We want the SSH because we want to be able to SSH to our instance, and then we also want to add a custom TCP rule, and that we want to be 8080, which is the port where our Jenkins server is going to be listening to. And that's it. We're going to click on Review and Launch, and just click Launched. And then here it's going to ask us to select an existing pair or create a new pair. In this case, we want to create a new pair, and we're going to call this Jenkins. I'm just going to call it Jenkins key pair 2020. You can call it whatever you want. And then click on Download key pair, and that's going to be downloaded to your download directory. And now just click on Launch Instance. So in here, as you can click on View Instances, and it's probably going to take about 3 to 5 minutes for your instance to be ready. You can see here that it's already on the pending state, and it has no name because we didn't give it a name. In the meanwhile, while we wait for the instance to be ready, let's convert that Jenkins key pair that we downloaded from the PEN format to the PPK format, because that's the PPK format is what we need in order to use it for our party. So I'm going to open up the key generator, the party generator, and all I'm doing here is click on Conversions, Import Key. It's going to go and try to get that. Here's the Jenkins key pair 2020. And now you can just click on Save Private Key, say yes. And we want to basically use the same name, so I'm just going to call it Jenkins key pair 2020, and I'm not going to put the extension. It's going to automatically add the .ppk. Click on Saved, and now we can exit. I'm going to click on Refresh to see if my instance is ready. And still initializing, we can see that, but I think we can SSH on it already. We can SSH to it already. So click on it. If you click link, then all the information becomes visible. So select the public IP, copy that. Okay, so we're ready to party to our instance. If we do, so what we're going to do, we're going to select the public IP, and here is 54.67.83. I'm going to say EC2 user at my public IP, and then connection, browsed. We're going to select the key PPK that we just did. And if you wanted to make things easier for yourself, you can save the session. You can call it whatever you want, last session, whatever, and then save it, and then you can load it, and then you should be able to SSH into your instance. So we now SSH into the instance. And what we're going to do next is we're actually going to configure Jenkins on it. So make the window a little bigger, but basically it's just the same instance. You can see that because right here is the IP 172.172.31.90, and we also had the same private IP here as well. All right, so let's get started. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the java-openjdk version 11. You're going to verify that we now have version 11 installed. The next command is basically adding the repo, the Jenkins repo. Now we are importing the key. Now we're just doing the installation of Jenkins. We're doing an additional configuration of the Jenkins server. And we started now Jenkins. What's going to happen too, so if we go back now to our Jenkins server, so what we need to go is open so Jenkins is still coming up. And to unlock Jenkins, we need to get the password from this directory. So we can go back in here, which is our Jenkins server, and we can call sudo cat command and get that password. Go here, copy it over, continue. And now we can start to install the plugins for Jenkins. I'm just going to select the suggested plugins. And now you get to create your first admin user. You can just use just test data for now. You get to confirm the IP of your Jenkins server. And now you can start using your Jenkins. And that's all for the installation of Jenkins. By the way, if this was useful, please don't forget to click on the like button below, and that way it will be useful for other people as well. If you're interested in how to use Jenkins to build your entire DevOps infrastructure, I do teach a class to the UCSD extension. The next enrollment is going to start on January 12, and it's going to go until March 9, and it's limited for 20 students. And in the class, we build our entire DevOps infrastructure, and we also build a multi-job project pipeline, and obviously that pipeline is on Jenkins. And the infrastructure is in AWS. In that class, we'll be building the infrastructure using Terraform, as well as other tools such as Maven, Nexus, we'll be using JMeter in AWS, and it includes all the code. You get to build your pipeline, and you get to set up your own server on GitHub, and you get the code and run it on your own AWS account as well as on your own GitHub account. And you get to keep all the code and all your setup after the class. And this is the pipeline that we're going to be building in that class. So this is basically a multi-job pipeline in Jenkins, which includes 4 different phases, which includes the build phase, the package phase, the testing phase, with 3 different types of jobs, as well as phase 4, which is the production deployment, with the blue and a green deployment, with a blue and a green deployment type. You get to see the videos, you get to do the work, and then obviously that's going to help you get a much better understanding of the DevOps concepts, and as well as the methodology, and as well as the practical experience of getting one done on your own. Again, we do our infrastructure in Terraform. We build a blue and green deployment with our Jenkins pipelines automatically as part of our deployment phase. And you get support. During the class once a week, there is a 1 hour where we have the whole class meets, and then if people have questions, then we can answer those questions. And it's optional if you want to come. If you don't need the help, then you're on your own and you're doing great, then you don't need to come. It's pretty flexible. And also, a lot of companies are now paying for DevOps classes, especially at the UCSD extension level. So if you have an employer that gives benefits for education, this class will qualify for an employer educational reimbursement. Obviously, check with your employer. But that's one very good way of getting the class for free and getting all the knowledge and the practical experience for DevOps. That's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.